All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video on some biblical advice that you can find in the scriptures that speak about ultimately not traveling in the way of a bold fellow. All right, don't travel. The scriptures speak about in the Apocrypha, don't follow around or don't hang around with a bold fellow, because ultimately they're going to draw you into something carnal, man. Right now, there's a difference between a bold fellow and somebody that's got the courage to defend themselves, right? And somebody that's prepared to defend themselves should somebody try to hurt them, right? There's a difference, right? And this guy with this YouTube channel here, Tyler Oliveira, he's an antagonist, man, right? He's the kind of person, right, that would trick his mind into believing that he's some kind of freedom fighter, when really the only reason that he cares to record these things that he's got a problem with is because there's money to be made. If the money dried up from, because he never used to do these kind of videos for starters. He used to do a completely different type of thing. So if the money starts drying up from this and he finds that he can make more money from something else, he'll go and do that. That's how these people are. But they trick their mind into believing that they're freedom fighters and that, oh, I'm against this and I'm against that and all of that, right? They don't really care, right? They don't really care, man. If he could get the same amount of money interviewing some people from the alphabet community, he'd probably do that, because these people are not they don't really care, man. They're not freedom fighters. They don't really care about the world being righteous, not really, right? And when I heard how this guy was talking, like he's found some of these people that, which they shouldn't be doing it, by the way. He found some of these people that were scamming people, doing a game where you have to guess which cup a ball's under, but they moved the ball from underneath the cup through some like sleight of hand so that you couldn't possibly win, right? Which they shouldn't be doing, because that's stealing, right? And the scriptures say, "Thou shalt not steal." But then he starts going over, touching their things, and then he's feeling more bold to do it because he's got some people with him that he thinks can fight, which they're not as good at fighting as they think they are, right? And I'm not trying to talk like I'm no tough guy, but they ain't as tough as they think they are neither, right? And people that are like this know how to pick and choose who to try and get loud with, man. When it's certain types of people, they know to humble down, right? But because of how this guy goes on, eventually I see it going bad for him, and he's going to end up getting the people that are with him, his security, he's going to end up getting himself and them into some situation. And I haven't finished watching this video, right? But the beginning of how the video starts is he's like shooting some water, or what I thought was water, but he says it's fart juice or whatever, into their face, and then spraying people with mace or with pepper spray and all that, right? But I'm still waiting to see the video, the full thing. But how this video is beginning, it looks to me like he's the one that started the violence. It looks to me like he's the one that started things getting physical. That's what it looks like to me. And the way how he's talking, saying to people, "Oh, you deserve to get your shit rocked," and all of this stuff, or like the way how he's talking recklessly, you'd think that this guy is like some trained fighter or something like that, which he could be. He could be. But people that are like that normally don't run their mouth like that, man. They kind of humble down. And since this guy, like a particular security guy that this guy's had, that this guy's always getting into fights with people, because of the people that he works security for are antagonists, right? They're bold fellows, man. And because of that, he's having to continually get into fights. But I could almost guarantee that in that guy's regular everyday to day life, he probably don't get in nowhere near as much fights when he's not working security for these kind of people, right? But forget him anyway. This is about for Israelites, man. If you don't want to be around people that are always setting it off all the time, man, and getting it shaking, that's not the way to be, man. Because some of you people, some of us we can actually know how to fight, man. But that not mean that we're supposed to do it all the time. Now, if it comes to self-defense, it's gonna get shaken down there, right? And as certain people have already found out, I've seen plenty of videos where people tried to think that that Israelites were just some stupid idiots that waved the Bible around, and they found out if you keep your hands to yourself, you're fine. But if you don't keep your hands to yourself, then it's not going to be fine. And here's the thing: Yahweh's on our team, so a brother could not know how to fight at all, and somebody tries to harm them, and Yahweh makes him learn how to fight right there and then, or send somebody that does know how to fight to defend them. And that's what you people out there don't understand, man. You don't understand these kind of things, and the way how these people are acting, I could see one day people trying to come at Hebrew Israelites like this, man, and think that they can try and roll up on Israelites in this hyper-aggressive way and try and use violence to them, use violence to Israelites. I could see these kind of things happen, which people have already done this kind of stuff anyway. And it reminded me of one situation where Yahweh sent some YNs to punch up two filthy Edomites that was trying to stir up strife, man. And the one Edomite pushed some Eve, right? Which she was not that much of an Eve. She kind of was believing the doctrine and all these kind of things. But she was kind of getting a bit loud and getting involved and touching grown men when she shouldn't have been. And then that man said to her something like, "Don't put your effing hands on me," or something, right? And then two YNs came, or 3 or 4 YNs came out of nowhere, and one of the YNs was real charged up and started throwing out right hooks, man. He weren't he weren't playing around. He started throwing out right hooks like nobody's business. And the Edomite crowd of devils that were antagonizing dispersed. And he wasn't even big, he was quite thin. And he just started throwing out them right hooks. And the next thing you know, that crowd of Edomites that was so lippy dispersed and got sent packing, man. By one Jake, really. It was only really one person doing all the swinging. But the Israelites in this situation didn't have to get under violence. You had the other Edomite was all up in their brother's face, trying to push and press up himself on him. When he, like, I don't even need to know how, even need to tell you how that fight would have went with that brother that he was trying to mess with. This fat Edomite was all up in the brother's face, trying to say what if I step forward and do what, and trying to do all this. He would have got. I can just tell that he would have got wrapped up in that situation, man. I can tell that would have went bad for him. But some of you people out there, you try and like you want so badly to try and harm the Israelites, right? But you're asking for something that you're not ready for because Yahweh Shai is on our team. And in the battle of the Game of Thrones between the nations, we have Yahweh Shai on our side. Right? If we was to just look, and if we was to have access to every single place on the earth, we'd eventually see the best of what you have as whatever your nation has to offer. You can search all the earth to look for the best of what we got, right? But the best of what we got isn't only present on the earth, it's in the heavens as well, where Yahweh Shai dwells. And he's had to be kept away from the earth just so that you heathens can have the confidence to try and overcome our nation. Right? But back on this and these kind of people, like the scriptures speak about traveling not with a bold fellow. And let me get the scriptures 1 second. All right, this is Sirach chapter 8, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 8 and verse 15. Travel not by the way with a bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto thee, for he will do according to his own will, and thou shalt perish with him through his folly. Now, in that video that I had on the screen, that guy was all following people downstairs, recording them, calling them boy and all this stuff, like running his mouth, saying you need to get your shit rocked, talking real reckless, like just talking like he's just so tough. But I guarantee if the same people that was scammers weren't some old, decrepit looking men and were some 6'5" NFL built looking people, he wouldn't be talking like that. And his security, if they had any brains, would be telling him, don't follow people around. Now, there's one of these security guys that do this kind of thing, one Jake, and he kind of tells the people that he's doing the security for, don't get too close and all of this, right? But this guy, he must be trying to, I don't know if he's trying to make a name for himself as some kind of hard man. He maybe thinks he's Jason Statham or something like that, and he wants to be some hard man or whatever. But eventually, if you go around thinking you're hard, you're going to stumble upon somebody that you think's weak, but they're stronger than you thought, and get wrapped up. And the security guard guy almost had that happen to him anyway. He was trained. He's trained in certain fighting things or whatever the hell he thinks he does. And he got grabbed and put on the floor by some random person that he don't know who he was, man. Like, you don't know what people know out here in the world. And when you're traveling through the world, you need to be careful, man. But some of these people, because there's money to be made with this kind of YouTube content now, are getting carried away. But forget them. These people are just an example on how us as Israelites can know how to be wiser, man. Right? Don't travel with a bold fellow, man. These people that are just bare wanting to be carnal all the time. Now, there's a difference between being prepared to defend yourself and being a bold fellow, man. The bold fellow is going to start saying things to people to try and get it going. Like, this guy was so happy after he was running around, running his mouth, talking to them people in this video, and then some people threw water at him. He was happy as hell, running to go and get into the folly, running up the stairs. But doesn't the scripture speak about how there's certain people that Yahweh hates? Let's get it. There's certain people that Yahweh hates, right? That the God of the Bible hates, Yahweh. That are quick, that are swift to run into mischief. Doesn't it say that? That these are some of the things that Yahweh hates. Here we go. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 16. These 6 things the Lord Yahweh hates. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look. That guy's got a proud look. A lying tongue. He's probably got that too. And hands that shed innocent blood. And heart which that divides of wicked imaginations. Touching people's property in the hope that they start a fight with you. Handing people fake money when they give you something that you don't want to buy instead of just not buying it. Handing them fake money in the hope that they get aggressive so that your security and you can try and beat them up. That's wicked imagination, right? Feet that be swift to run into mischief. He ran up them stairs, man. He was running up the stairs, man. He was running and chasing after somebody that he knew was a scammer, trying to do that ball game where the scammer were using the cops. He was running after them. Feet that are swift to run into mischief. Right? He was quick on that, man. And he don't really care that these people are doing it because they're giving him content. So he's happy that they're doing it really because he can make money from it. Because he used to do a completely different type of YouTube content. That's what people are saying. But now he's doing this. Why? Is it because all of a sudden he cares about this? Well, if he cared, how long have people been doing that? How comes he never said nothing before? Now he's saying something because he's realized there's money to be made. Or there's some secret push that we don't know about. Some secret agenda to try and paint the world in a certain way and make out like everyone so-called foreigners are the problem. Who knows? That could be something too. Right? But either way, they know there's money to be made. That's the main thing. Right? Verse 19, a false witness that speak of lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. And that's what some of these people do as well, that talk all this immigration thing. They'll try and find one immigrant that's kind of a bit less aggressive or whatever, and be like, see, we don't care about ones like you. It's the bad ones. No, you don't like none of them. Don't try and play games. You don't like none of them, man. And you think that they're all illegal. The way you see it is, if they wasn't illegal, but they end up with a better life than you, now they're illegal and you want them out of the country. Don't play games. Don't try and play with my emotions and try and trick me, bro. Because I know what you Edomites are about, man. And all you want to be Edomites as well, that are not really Esau. You're really an Israelite, but you're begging it, thinking that you're a heathen and an Edomite just because your skin's a bit more pale. Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 1, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. And that's what this guy was doing in that video. He was running his mouth, talking about people need to get their shit rocked. Right? The guy said, okay, you've got me. And he's like, nah, fuck. He was basically like, nah, fuck that. And he was basically like, there ain't no peace. Still wanted to keep going, man. But they don't consider that what took place in these other people's homelands to make them have to go to the lowest thing of being a scammer. Now, some people are just assholes and will do this kind of stuff anyway. But Esau never wants to consider how the country that he calls home has went all around the world, fucking everyone's place, everyone's countries up, man. To the point where people have to do low-level shit like that. And then some of these guys that go around doing all this kind of recording about following immigrants around and that, they'll say, oh, it's another scammer. I mean, another engineer or another doctor. And I'm thinking to myself, mate, you ain't a doctor yourself. Your job is literally going around recording people and antagonizing. Anybody can do that. Now, they might not get the same amount of views, but if somebody goes around recording and a fight happens, right, most people are going to want to watch that. Anyone that's got a phone can do that, can go around and just record people on the street. Anyone can do that, man. It don't really take no talent. It don't take no particular certificate. So don't act like you're doing anything so much more honorable in the world and trick your mind into thinking you're a freedom fighter. No, you're an opportunist. You people are opportunists, man. You're not freedom fighters and none of that. You're just opportunists that if something else came along later on, you'd join and hop on the bandwagon with that. If recording, farming started getting more money on content, you'd be down for that. You wouldn't care about that stuff no more. You wouldn't care about it no more. You wouldn't give a shit. Right? And I just wanted to do this video on this, man, because, and there's another verse I wanted to read as well. Because the scriptures give us wisdom, man. Travel not with a bold fellow, man. Right? Because they'll get you into some shit. Someone that's always, every single time, they just got some beef or some battle going on in that. And you'll be like, man, what the hell, man? Calm the fuck down, man. There's always quick to say off. That's the guys like this. The last video that there was in, that he's got on his YouTube channel, there was a fight there as well. So if it starts to become a trend, you'll be like, you know what? I don't want to do security for this guy no more. Or you'll be like, you know what? I don't want to hang around with this guy anymore. Because then what, like, some of these people don't consider, okay, you might like getting it shaking like that. But what about that day when you're just around people that don't want to fight? What about that then? And it's different between, there's a difference between people wanting to get violent with you for the Lord's name's sake, because you believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and people might just be minding your business, teaching the word of the Lord, and someone starts getting aggressive because you looked at them, right? As if you're not going to just look at people that are around you for your own personal safety, maybe sometimes, right? There's a difference between that, right? And just being an asshole that goes around antagonizing people, and then a fight breaks out, there's a difference, right? There's a big difference, man, a huge difference. Ecclesiasticus chapter 8 and verse 16, strive not with an angry man, and go not with him into a solitary place, for blood is as nothing in his sight. So if there's just a person that's bare, one of these carnalized roadmans type of people, man, don't be just around them in a solitary place, even if that solitary place could be your house where there ain't no witnesses. You know, these guys that say, oh, come round the corner there. Okay, you think you're bad, yeah? Come round the corner where there's too many witnesses here. When these guys try and come with you with all that, don't go around that corner, you know. Don't try and follow them into that dark alleyway that they want to try and make you, nah. Don't do that, because they want you in that dark corner so they can send your spirit back to Yahweh. Don't fall for their tricks, you know. Don't fall for that trick. Don't believe them and take the bait when these carnalized people try and get you to get it shaking. Don't go for that. Nah, fam. Do not take the bait on that. Never take the bait, man. Right? Now, if it comes to self-defense, that's a whole nother story, man. Because I'm down for some self-defense if I need to. Right? Part of the beauty of Jacob's trouble is that part of Jacob's trouble is the self-defense that's going to come afterwards, man. Esau is going to start it, right? Yahweh Shai is going to finish it. But before Yahweh Shai comes and finishes it, descendants of Jacob are going to be doing some self-defense around here, man. Yahweh is going to put the spirit on members of the elect to do some extreme levels of self-defense to stop us from being exterminated as a nation. You best believe that. He's definitely going to do that. There's going to be a whole bunch of self-defense. Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 19. That's self-defense, man. The Lord's going to lift up a standard against Esau. For blood is as nothing in his sight, and where there is no help, where there's no witnesses, he will overthrow thee. And the Bible gives us wisdom, man. Right? Here's some good advice as well. Sirach chapter 8 and verse 12. Lend not unto him that is mightier than thyself, for if thou lendest him, count it but lost. And I've experienced that kind of stuff before. Someone asks to borrow something of yours whether it be money or whether it be some kind of physical thing, and then you start asking back for it from them afterwards, mate, you don't see that again. Now, time's gone by, and that person's more than likely been judged for these things anyway. But I've experienced that before when I was younger. Giving something to somebody, you're thinking, oh, you're just being cool with them and you're just allowing them to use your thing. But you ain't never seen that again. It could be something as simple as your football. One of these waste mans, all right, look, oh man, yo, pass me that ball, bro. And you pass on the ball, you never see that ball again. Jake's in the world have experienced this, and then we've experienced this in our society, in this wicked ass world. Some older Jakes or whatever say, oh, pass the ball. You pass on the ball, thinking that they're about to play football with you. They'll take the ball and just kick the ball bare far over a wall or something like that. They didn't even want to play with the ball. They just wanted you to not be able to play with it, assholes. Oh, those are some nice gloves. Let me try them on. You never see it again. You never see it again, man. And Esau, through the country of America, does this on a grand scale, man. Rob a whole country's resources. Or we'll send you some weapons. All we need is access to your ground minerals, right? And we're gonna set up a fund that it's gonna be joint between us, America, and you, Ukraine. Are you in it or not? You think that that'll go 50-50 split if Ukraine ever agreed to that? If they ever agreed to that, they ain't getting a 50-50 share of that. That'll never go down equal. Esau don't know about equal, man. He don't know nothing about that. He's a scumbag, bro. Right? The guy's a treacherous devil. Here's another good advice. Sirach chapter 8 and verse 18. Do no secret thing before a stranger, for thou knowest not what he will bring forth. So don't just be trusting any of these people in the world, telling them nothing personal about you, because you don't know who they're going to run their mouth to. These people are not your friend. They're not our friends, man. They don't like us. And they'll be quick to snitch. Oh, see. You think you're just talking to somebody normal. Save your deep things and thoughts processes with a fellow Hebrew Israelite like yourself. And if you don't have one around you, well, tell it unto Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shiden, man. Pray to Yahweh about it, man. Because these people in this world, they'll try and use any weakness and anything that you have a problem with, or anything that got you down. They'll try and use it against you. They won't see you in a weak moment and just keep it to their fucking self. They'll see you in a weak moment and start spreading your secrets to everyone else, man. If you see somebody in a weak moment, you can just shut the fuck up about it, right? And keep it to yourself, between you and that person, and only you and them have to know about that. You don't have to go around telling everybody else, spreading secrets. Oh, I heard this guy did. Oh, I heard that guy did. Oh, you know what? How about you shut your mouth? But this world don't do that, though. This world loves to tell bear and spread rumors, man. This world loves to get it shaken and loves to step in and want to antagonize violence, right? But wants to try and decide how the other person acts towards their antagonizing. And that kind of new YouTube content that's coming out that I keep seeing all the time, right? Eventually, one of those kind of people that do that are going to get themselves, and the people that are supposed to be security for them, they're going to end up getting seriously hurt, man. I can see this happening. I can truly see it going bad for people that do this kind of stuff, man. Because they're feeling emboldened to be like this, right? Because they feel like they're in the right side, but they're just as bad as the other people. These people are getting bottles thrown at them and all kind of stuff. So they're actually causing strife in a society, man. They're causing strife. But Shalom to the nation of Israel and Shalom.